Hi guys. So I just thought I would go on and come a couple minutes early since I kept changing the time. I don't know if you even saw the video advertised or not. I probably should start putting them in my community tab, but I don't. It's a lot of habits I don't have. I probably should. But anyway, so I wanted to come on and talk about a couple of videos that I caught last night. And I wanted to come early this morning, but I couldn't make it. Um, so I'll start by saying, in case you guys are not familiar with who Larry Reed is a YouTuber here on YouTube, of course. And I think that he also depending on what city, because I'm not real sure what city he's in now that I think about it. I think he's in Atlanta. I could be wrong, but he's probably known in the church. Yeah, if you black, you know what I mean when I say the church world, as far as gospel music, churches, and in that realm, right? And so sometimes he will interview certain gospel singers or certain people. I think that a lot of them, however, probably don't deal with him because of the salaciousness sometimes of his stories. And he, they, like I said in my other video, I'm not going to take it back. People, they call everybody else homophobic, but they're always pointing out who's gay, right? They're always the one doing it. But he has a lot of stories like that where he's pointed out who's doing what with some other man or whatever the situation is. It's a lot of that. So I think a lot of people in the church kind of are a little standoffish with him, I think. But then, of course, he's been on here for several years and he has a sub base now. So they probably feel a little bit more comfortable knowing that he could get their work out or their word or whatever it is that they're trying to get out there. And so they may deal with him. Um, some of you guys are probably already familiar with him. I just wanted to give a little backstory on him. And then the Wiley Show. I talked about the Wiley Show a few times on here, and I'm sure you guys can look through my videos and see that. I've talked about Larry Reed before as well, but I think most people are probably familiar with them. If you're familiar with me, you're probably familiar with them as well. Sometimes we're not. Sometimes people may not, they may only want certain conversation and they may not want to hear certain other things, right? And so that's why I'm kind of explaining who they are. But when Kerrion Franklin, who is Kirk Franklin, the gospel singer, the legend, when his son kind of came out with this recording and what have you, Larry Reed was one of the people reaching out to Kerrion, and I guess he had spoke with him before because apparently Kerrion had put some things out about Kirk Franklin some years ago as well. For people who were not aware of that, right? And there was a lot of speculation about Kirk Franklin having taken issue with his son um, being LGBT. And I don't believe that. I don't think anyone's ever came straight out and had that conversation with Kirk Franklin. But this is my opinion. I don't believe that. I think that there's a lot of people in gospel music that are LGBT, and I don't think that Kirk Franklin has an issue with that. Whether they come out and telling you their business or not, they are there. Okay. And so I don't think that he takes issue with that. I don't. And I don't think he would take issue with that with any of his children. But that's just my opinion. I don't know him personally. Now Kerrion and his kids can come tell us a whole nother story, and I would just have to swallow that, right? Anyway, so Larry Reed reached out to Kerrion while I was in one of Kerrion's live one time as well. So they do have some form of relationship. And that's when I kind of found out that Kerrion had said some things about Kirk Franklin before, like I said, some years ago. And so the other legend icon, John B. Key, who is somebody that I grew up on, was also trying to reach out to Kerrion. There were people who were trying to kind of give him support. Um, because obviously we don't know what's going on. We don't know who's right, who's wrong, and they probably could both be right, both be wrong, right? It's a family issue. I think people are just trying to support him anyway. And so Larry Reed, you're going to hear him say in this clip that I'm going to play, and I'm only going to play a couple minutes of it because you guys can go over to his channel and listen to his entire video. It's about 45 minutes long. But he's going to start off saying how he was helping Kerrion get counseling. And when you hear him saying that, he's talking about from the whole situation when he had the fallout with Kirk Franklin over the recording him. Um, Now, I'm sure you guys are seeing, because I'm starting to see the story everywhere now. And I didn't really know if it was going to pick up like that because, like the Wiley show was saying, the media really didn't pick up on this story. And I want to say, well, I'll come back. I'll play you guys what he's saying a little bit of it, and then I'll come back with my opinion. And I'm also going to show you guys in this video that's going to start, that I kind of put some pictures together. You're going to see that he was arrested for a misdemeanor, which is minor. I think we all understand a misdemeanor. If it was if it was anything more serious, it wouldn't say misdemeanor. But I think, like Larry Reed is saying, because they are holding him, um, you know, that's why there's no bail there, because they can hold him if he's wanted in another state. But okay, I'm gonna play the video now. Oh.
This platform. He's not the first person I paid for counseling for or offered. You know, I did offer to what's her name with her and her daughter, and they child never went through that. I guess she don't care about her daughter. But anyway, so it's not the first time, but sometimes I will get involved. And from a professional standpoint, I do feel like I shouldn't be that involved, but I'm a whole human. And so when I heard that sound in his voice, and I am a daddy, so it just, I said, let me make a, I quickly made a post and I quickly took it down. But in that quick second, I was able to connect to some people. And then I also found out more information. Now, this is what he told me. He told me that he was wrongfully arrested and he was stopped because of his tail light. Well, I know as a black man that we are always stopped for a light, a brake light. If we black and it's a okay car, we gonna get stopped just so they can sniff us out and see what's going on and look for something wrong. Because 9 times out of 10, because of the way that things have been for us here in America, we like to drink a little bit, smoke a little weed, and we're gonna carry our gun. Mm-hmm. So when they did that, he said that they're putting other charges. Is what he said, that they're putting other charges on him, and now they have locked him up and something about he can't get out to Tuesday. So it was a very quick phone call, and I said, "Calm down, carry on until we can get you out." And so when I began to look into getting him out, I began to run into some other things, and that's what I'm going to be talking to you about just for a little bit. And then I am absolutely out of here and probably going to come back tomorrow to talk about some other stuff that's been happening. When I began to see what I can do in order to get him out, let me see. I'm live and it's okay.
He's texting somebody, child. I was trying to get this video up, but for whatever reason, the video is too long. But I'm not going to play the whole video.
So when I began to just snoop around a little bit and find out what was going on, I found out where he was at. I don't want to tell you where he's locked up at right now because I don't know if he got some crazy fans or some stalkers or whatever. But I found out where he was locked up at. Because of our relationship, I was able to put his information in and find out what was going on. So it appeared to me that there was something that was wrong. So I was ready to go into a fight, but then I ran into something. And so when I looked, they arrested him because of some charges in Texas. And the charges in Texas, there's no bond for. So that was number one. But as they begin to deal with Kerrion, now you watch Bad Boy Club, so you know how that can go. And you also have heard the audio between him and his dad. Both of them pop office. And so in that exchange, there was an altercation with the cops. And in that altercation with the cops, they're now calling it resisting arrest. So that's another charge. And then they began to search his car, stop for the tail light, allegedly. But I got to tell you something else that I'm finding out with that. And they searched the car, and then they found a gun, allegedly. Now, Kerrion told me on the phone that they're trying to slap two other charges on him just because, and that the charges were not true. So Kerrion is saying he did not, if I take the what he said, he did not resist arrest, and that there was no gun that they found that was his. So I'm assuming that he's alleging that the gun was planted. So I said, okay, all right, that's that. So that's going to make it to where I can't get hold of him even with having this person in Beverly Hills that can do so. And there's another person, got a whole lot of different connections. The LRLers are in the LAPD, FBI, IRS, they everywhere. So long as I keep secret, nobody never know who I know and who I'm talking to. So then I found out that there basically was no way for us to really get him, at least not right now. I haven't discovered one because they have to extradite him to Texas. But now he got these two charges in LA, which is the gun charge and the resisting arrest charge. So this is a whole thing. So then as I'm doing that, someone calls me because of my post, and on Patreon I'm a little bit more outspoken, so they knew it was Kerrion, and so then they began to tell me how he had been questioned for a murder. I said, "Now wait a minute, a murder." So the first thing I thought about was CJ, and I said, "Now I know," because see, Kerrion and CJ, he was upset because of the accusation that he was alleging that Kerrion was making against his father that was so hideous that I will not even repeat on this platform. And then he just up and dead. So I'm like, wait a minute, let me call here, let me call them, let me call them. And so it's not about his death because that was an overdose. So Kerrion was being questioned about another murder of a female. And I said, okay, well, he told me that the brake light, whatever, was out. That's why they stopped him. They said, that may not be the reason why they stopped him because he's driving the car of the murdered victim.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave it right there because Mr. Larry Reed is kind of long-winded. Like when he tells a story, he tells a story, right? You can get up caught, you can get caught up listening to him. And if you guys want to hear everything that he has to say, you can go over to his channel, The Larry Reed Show. It's like I said, it's a video. It's about 45 minutes. And I think he starts off talking about something else, and then he kind of goes into the carry-on situation. Um, there is a picture of a woman on Carry-on's Instagram page, and she's laying in his lap. And I really should have put that in this video that I put together of pictures, but I didn't. The lady, he said, was an assistant or someone close to him, and he said that she passed away. So I don't know if someone is creating this story, if this is real. Maybe it all ties in. I don't know, but I don't think the Carry On had anything to do with the lady's death. He um, made like a dedication post to her. Now, maybe she sold him the car before she passed away. Maybe she gave him the car before she passed away, did not change over the title. I don't know. I don't know the story. But I looked up his arrest like everyone else. As you can see, I put a picture of it. I didn't want to put all his information out there, even though it's really nothing. It's most stuff on there, everybody already know about him, his birthdays, height, not, I just still didn't feel, still felt a way about putting all that out there. But you can see it's a misdemeanor that they're holding him on, which means that whatever they are charging him for here in LA is minor, like I said. But like Larry is saying, if he is wanted in another state, they have I think they give, I don't know, every state can be different, but I think nationally the hold is 2 weeks, 14 days, or maybe 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. They give Texas the opportunity to say, yes, we will come and get him. No, we'll catch him on another run. Maybe they have, especially when you had the whole COVID situation, or if they're overpopulated, they may say, and if it's something minor, they may say they will get him the next time. I don't know. This is what I've been told. Okay. Now, more than likely, they will go and get him. You guys know they're gonna have to make arrangements to go and get him. They're not gonna just, say put him on a first class flight to Texas so we can, they have to go and get him themselves. The sheriff's department, police department, whoever, sheriff's department, police. Um, and I'm going to imagine there's probably paperwork involved as well, that they're going to need to process. So that's why they give them enough time to go and get him. So he's going to be held for that amount of time. And that's why it says no bail. Now, I think that people are sensationalizing the story with this whole car thing, because that's not in anywhere. Now, he's scheduled to go to court tomorrow. And I think tomorrow, once he sees a judge, at some point, they're going to update the system. And they're going to tell you what the charges are. Some websites, they will give you the definition and the codes, because, police department have their codes and they understand what they mean. But some other websites will give you the definition, so you can understand what they're charging him for. So we'll have to wait till tomorrow. He's scheduled for court tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 12th, right? So, yeah. And maybe either the day after, or maybe even tomorrow. I don't know how fast they will update their system. They will then say what they're holding him for. But I do believe the no bail is because, like, he's saying, if he's wanted in another state, they're not going to release him. They're going to give Texas the opportunity to get him if they want him. Like I said, and anybody related to police officers, whatever, can go and ask them that, and they will tell you, right? I'm not telling you anything that anybody can't go and research for themselves. And half of y'all probably already know what I'm talking about anyway. So, yeah, that's if they're saying no bail. That's why, because that doesn't make sense that he wouldn't have bail for a misdemeanor, right? So whatever they arrested him for here, I mean, not in L.A., like I'm in L.A., was a misdemeanor. So, like he's saying, if it was a tail light, they're claiming they stopped him for a tail light. And I also want to put this out here since we're having this conversation. You guys understand police now have some modern technology that is in their cars, right? So if your registration, your license is suspended, it is connected to your registration and all this and the other, that stuff can be picked up if your car is registered to you. But it sounds like this car was never put in his name. And if he is still driving the car in this lady's name, I don't get why he would be doing that. But and I didn't even know he had a car, because the last time I really paid attention to Kerrion on live, he was in a truck. He was driving a truck. So this is something that has happened, I guess, within the past few months or whatever. And like I said, he has a picture on his Instagram of a lady where she was saying that she passed away. And this is an older black lady. He was saying she was like an assistant to him, someone that's been helping him out or whatever. Um, and if he would have harmed her, I don't think he would have done that. That's just my opinion. But, you know, I don't know. But I think that in order to really sensationalize the story, people want to put all this extra stuff on there. The real life media, knowing that this is Kirk Franklin's son, if they thought or knew something like that was true to life, they probably would be out here telling us the story as well. And I also think that even if it's not like Los Angeles, ABC or whatever, at least Page Six or Radar, TMZ, people like that, they would have picked up on that and they would have gone to do the research on that, because that's something that they would have to go and research in Texas, right? Because it sounds like he's trying to say this lady was based in Texas. And I'm not looking at Kerrion's Instagram right now, so I really don't know where he was with this lady when he put the picture up. And yeah, I don't know. And it's also another thing that, because I saw this on the Wiley, and he was the one saying that Larry was reporting on this, and he was saying that this aired. I mean, this happened right around the time when the episode aired of Carry On getting emotional when asked about his father. So some people thinks and think that it's not real. They think this is some type of joke, but you can go to the sheriff's department page and put his information in, and it's going to show you that he is in custody. So this is not fake. This is real. He was arrested Sunday morning. Like I said, he's scheduled to go to court tomorrow. We will have more information then. Until then, we really don't know what's what. I'm not going to buy into the whole car thing and somebody was murdered and all this stuff until the real media reports on it, and until he actually gets to Texas, and then all of that information is probably going to come out at that time once they get him in custody, and then he has to wait for his court date and what have you there, or they will set some type of bill if they're going to let him bill out at that point. Um, but I don't know. But yeah, I think it's just a coincidence that episode aired the same time that he was arrested. I don't think he planned it like that. I don't think anybody set him up. I don't any of that. The way people are saying it, if he was driving a car that wasn't registered to him, that could have been suspicious to the police. And he, like Larry was saying, he is a black man, right? He was in the Beverly Hills area, and if there was a tail light out or anything on the car that he probably should have got fixed, then that's all the reason that they need to stop him. But there is new technology in these cars. I just want to tell you guys that. And he was also saying something about a resistant arrest, and I think California is a body cam state. So if they have footage of him resisting arrest, then they're obviously going to use that, right? If that's what they're saying. I don't know. They don't have that on the arrest screen. So they just said have it listed as a misdemeanor. So I don't know how people know all this stuff, like unless he has a friend in the sheriff's department, that told him this. But I digress, and it's possible for Larry and whoever else to have these connections, right? That's not impossible for someone to have someone who works for the sheriff's department or the police department, LAPD or Beverly Hills PD, um, to inform them of that. But we'll have to wait and see what his charges read tomorrow, because that's when they will put those what he was charged for, if he was charged for anything. Because they may drop whatever was going on in California because he got some stuff going on in Texas, right? Um, yeah. So I don't know. I'm gonna wait to see on all of that. Then the other thing that I wanted to kind of touch on briefly before I get off of here was this whole conversation on the Wiley show about Darius Cooks. Now I don't know why there's a group of people, I guess, in the foodie industry, and chefs and cooks and whomever, bloggers, who don't like the fact that Darius is successful, right, at what he's doing. And so they are putting all this stuff out here about him, whatever. Um, I like Darius. I said this before, so he hasn't done anything to me, so I don't have no issues with him. He has subs. He minds his business as far as I can see. He creates his videos showing you how to prepare meals. Um, Sometimes he'll go live and talk about certain things dealing with himself, whatever is going on out here. He has this dinner party, I guess, that he's been doing the dinner parties now for a while. There's videos up on his page on his Instagram if you want to see how some of the interacting. at the dinner parties, how it goes. And obviously, it's going to be different in each city, right, based on the setup. Um, so he has a list of cities that he is going to put up for, I guess, next year, 2023. He may be booked up this for the rest of this year. It's a nice idea. It's a nice idea. A group of women, a group of business people, men or women. It's a nice idea to put together for someone's graduation. If you can catch him in your city at that time, birthdays, anniversary dinner. It's a good idea. He's a celebrity chef. His food is delicious. He's well known. I don't think the price tags. Some people were saying they want to complain about the price tag. I think a lot of celebrity chefs charge a lot of money, and there are a lot of events where meals are served and plates are way two and three, four times $289. So I don't think and people need to realize too, food is expensive. It's not cheap, right? So, all this stuff has to be paid for. His time, the staff. I think that we get it. I think that some of us are, just we get it. It takes money to do all of that. So, I don't really know that I think that it's overpriced. I think this is just people who want to create issues for him because they just don't like him and they want to say whatever. And then the Wiley was saying something. Angela is the kitchenista child. She's a lifetime. She in a lifetime war against somebody she don't even know. But anyway, something about he was saying she stole her storyline or something. Darius is from the South, number one. Okay, um, I don't know how many grandmamas y'all have, but I had two. I was blessed to have two. He could have more than one grandmother because Wiley was saying, oh, his grandmother. You saying a grandmother. He has two grandmothers. He has his mother's mother and his father's mother, right? So it's possible that one of his parents' mothers could be deceased and the other one could still be alive, or they both can be deceased. And when they were alive, he enjoyed cooking with them. I know when I was growing up, kids had to go in and do their part as well, whether it was washing greens or doing something, right? So, I'm from the South as well, so I understand Darius, and that's why I like him. Okay, now I don't think that he needs to steal her story. I think that he can have his own story from his own grandmothers, just like he said. People just come up with all this stuff just whenever they want to come up with. But like he said in his message, because he posted a message on his Instagram, and he said, thanks for all the negativity because you guys are just helping me. People who didn't know who I was probably know who I am because of all the nonsense that people are spreading around about him. So I don't know. Like God don't like ugly. People need to cut it out. Like do you to the best of your ability and wait on what's coming to you to come. Like cut it out. Like for real, for real. I don't get it, and that's just like that's what you call ride the hell out of somebody's coattail. That's what I call it. But it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think about the $289 plate. I don't think when you really consider he has to have staff to even assist these people when they get to their party, set the place up, prepare the meals, plate the meals, clean up. You guys get what I'm saying. All this stuff costs money, and even if it's in-house staff, they have to get paid as well. Like, come on now. I can't. But if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. He has put dates out for next year, right? So people have more than enough time to come up with $289. However, they get their group together, they can charge it in fees or for a package or whatever. However, they want choose to do it, right? Um, I just think people complain because they just want to complain about something. I just think people riding people's coattail because they want you to bring them up so then you can go run to their page and see who they are as well, right? Let me know what you guys think about all of this. Do you think that it's expensive considering, Or do you think that someone's just riding someone's coattail? Let me know in the comments, and let me know what you guys think about the Kerrion situation as well. I will probably come back on the Kerrion situation, like I said, once we find out more about what's going on. I don't believe the murder's a thing at all. That's just my opinion. Um, some people are saying that Kirk Franklin has not said anything about any of this, and he probably won't. You know, you guys have to remember, Kerrion is in his 30s. He's a grown man. We all know that his relationship with his father is not what it should be. Um, so I don't know if Kirk Franklin or anyone else that he's related to are going to do anything. They're probably not going to do it for the public's um, viewing, right? I think we get that as well. I think that whatever they decide to do, they're going to do it in private. They may have a lawyer reach out to the police department or whomever, sheriff's department. They may, or even in Texas, since I think they are in Texas or Georgia. I don't really know where Kirk Franklin lives, but they are from Texas. So I'm sure they were trying to handle whatever they can handle in private. It's, they're not going to come run to the media about something where there is already an issue there within their family, right? So yeah, I don't think people should be expecting Kirk Franklin to make statements about this. Kerrion is not 16, he's not 15. He's 30 something years old. He's a grown man. So this is a situation he probably knew was out there, and oftentimes 95% of the time when people are resisting arrest, that's why they're resisting arrest, because they know they have warrants, right? I mean, I think we all get that. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about all of this, and go over to Larry Reed's channel if you want to hear, because he says that he spoke to Kerrion on the phone. Kerrion may have reached out to him while he's been in there. Um, if you want to hear everything that he has to say, his view on this matter, and the Wiley Show, if you want to hear what he had to say. But yeah, I think the whole bringing up he was driving somebody's car who was murdered is, you know, a lot, putting a lot on something that's probably not true. Um, because if the police thought that, you think he gonna go and film a whole TV show? I mean, I don't even want to get into it. I just don't. I think that everybody's comprehension is better than that anyway. Like, it just don't make sense. And like I said, if you guys go to the Instagram page, you see the lady. I don't remember exactly when, but it was a few months ago, probably earlier this year, maybe even late last year, when he put that picture up of the lady that he said passed away. That was a close friend of his. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.